guys, it's Stephanie, and I'm here today with my November TBR, which I'm really excited about because number one, I have a lot of buddy reads this month, and two, it's my very first nonfiction November. And if you don't know, Nonfiction November is an event hosted by Olive and Gemma. I'll leave the link to their announcement videos down below where they kind of explain everything about Nonfiction November. But it's basically a push to get Booktube to read more nonfiction. Booktube is kind of mainly a fiction reading community, and I definitely fall into it. I love fiction, but I definitely want to read more nonfiction, and I think a lot of Booktube falls into that as well. So this is just a really great push to get out of our comfort zone a little bit and reach for some nonfiction. Even though all of my nonfiction is 100% things that I am into and that are totally like in my comfort zone. At the end of the day, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So there are four kind of challenges for Nonfiction November. Because of all my buddy reads, I'm only going to do 3 of them. So I'm going to read 3 nonfiction books. I think the challenges are new, important, controversial, and fascinating. I am not going to do the important, so I'm going to do new, controversial, and fascinating. First one I'm going to show you is my pick for fascinating. This is The Indifferent Stars Above by Daniel James Brown. This is about the Donner Party. I think the title is The Harrowing Saga of a Donner Party Bride. I think I first heard about this and heard good things about it from Julie over at A Girl on a Book. And of course, all the channels and videos that I mentioned, I will leave links for down below. So the Donner Party is always one of those things I've kind of wanted to know more about, and I think just the subject matter itself is very fascinating. I just got the audiobook today to go along with this, so I can listen to it while I'm at work. And I am definitely excited to read this since I've heard a lot of great things, and I've heard it's a good book club book, which I think means it's very readable, which for someone who doesn't read nonfiction is so great to hear that a nonfiction book is just really easy to read, and in this case the subject matter is interesting, so I'm really excited to dive into this. Next pick is for the controversial category, and this is Ethan Brown's Murder in the Bayou. This is a true crime novel about 8 women who were found drowned in Louisiana, and this is a new book. But this is really controversial because I had read that in the last couple chapters, there's a lot of suspicion put around a man who is currently serving in the Senate, a representative from Louisiana. Just there's a lot of connections made that this senator, I guess the women were prostitutes, and he had some record of being with them, and you know, now they're all drowned. So it's really interesting that this man is still in Senate and there's some investigation going on. So I thought it was really, really interesting. And of course, I wanted to read this and see basically what all the fuss was about. My next one is for new, though I could have easily put it in fascinating if you know me. And this is Colin Dickey's Ghostland. I have been waiting for this to come out, and I am not someone who really gets excited about new releases at all, especially like nonfiction releases. Like, that is not me. But if you know me, you know that I am all about horror and the paranormal, and I love that stuff. So I was super, super excited to read Ghostland, An American History in Haunted Places. So of course, this goes through and talks about all of the kind of infamous haunted places like the Winchester Mystery House and the House of Seven Gables. I'm almost halfway through with it, and I am just absolutely loving it. Of course, I find this subject material absolutely fascinating. So this has been a really, really great pick, and one that I'm really glad that I got to pick up just in time for Nonfiction November. The next book that I'm reading, I am doing as a buddy read with Christina over at Christina De Vris. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce her name. I will leave a link to her channel down below, though. You should definitely check her out. She's great. And together we have decided to tackle Bret Easton Ellis's American Psycho. I have not read anything by Bret Easton Ellis, but I have seen American Psycho, the movie, because I had a huge crush on Christian Bale. And I know he's the American Psycho, and he's Patrick Bateman, and he's crazy, but I mean, he also does crunches in his underwear in the beginning of the movie, so I had to watch it. So far, I really like it. If you've seen the movie and you know the very famous opening dialogue where Patrick Bateman is getting ready and he's putting the face mask on and taking it off, I will say that so far most of the book is kind of written in that voice where he's very precise in describing everything around him. And so far, I really enjoy it. And I almost wish I would that I could have gotten the audiobook. I don't think my library has the audiobook for this, but I feel like it would make a great audiobook to just have that read to you. Just the way he is so precise in his descriptions of just everything around him and everything that he does and his routines. I am bracing myself because of course I have heard that the movie was tame, very tame in comparison to the content and the violence and the gore that is in this book. So I'm bracing myself for it. I can't say much. I'm 30 pages in, but I am really enjoying it so far. The next book that I'm reading is a collection of short stories, and I am doing this as a group buddy read with Liz over at Liz Schubert / Mountain City Books, and Jess over at Rebel Reads, and Devon over at Insomniac. And we are doing, I think, a story a day for Vampires in the Lemon Grove by Karen Russell. I read Swamplandia earlier this year, absolutely loved it, and I have heard that people enjoy her short story collections even more, so of course I was really excited to read this and to have people to talk to them about. I've never done a buddy read for short story collections, so I'm really looking forward to that. I really enjoy all the people that I am buddy reading with. It hasn't started yet, but they're all channels that I absolutely love, so I am really, really looking forward to this. The next one I'm doing is going to be a bit of a long-term buddy read because this book is huge. This is Eleanor Catton's The Luminaries. I am doing this as a buddy read with Kate Howe and one of our lovely commenters, Jane. And we are doing very, very small chunks every day and kind of just checking in, which is great because I don't read a lot of huge books, and so I think the accountability of buddy reads and doing it in small chunks is really going to help me finish this. I really didn't know what to expect, but so far I am really, really enjoying it, and I'm excited to see what happens because so far everything right now, I mean, we're reading it in small chunks. Everything is still very introductory, so I'm really looking forward to finishing this, hopefully at the end of the month with those two ladies in our buddy reading schedule, but we'll see. Definitely loving it so far though. And my last pick was a little spontaneous because I'm not buddy reading it with anyone. This isn't a nonfiction November pick. I decided to finally read Love in the Time of Cholera by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. If you've been watching my channel at all, you know that my favorite book ever was 100 Years of Solitude, and I am about 100 pages into this, and it has all of the writing and the feels, I guess, I got from 100 Years of Solitude, just the writing. I love it. I love Gabriel Garcia Marquez's writing. Like, this is my kind of comfort read. I think these tropical settings, and if you don't know what this book is about, it's an interesting plot, basically about this forbidden love between two teenagers, and the girl is wealthier and she gets married off to a wealthy doctor, and she marries him and starts a family. At the beginning of the book, her husband dies. She is in her 70s. So that forbidden love interest, that boyfriend, you know, who is also an old man, basically comes to the funeral and says, "Oh good, I've been really looking forward to this day. I have loved you all of those years. I never stopped loving you, and I am ready for like us to have a chance now that you're single again." So it's interesting. Some people say it's the greatest love story of all time. I'm not sure that I'm reading it for that. I think personally that's kind of creepy. But the writing, I will basically read any story that Gabriel Garcia Marquez has written just because his writing and his settings and just his rich description and characters, I will read any sorts of creepy scenarios. So, I mean, it might be too early to say, but just with the writing, it might be up there with 100 years so far. Anyway, that is what I am reading for November. What is one thing you are reading for November that you're really excited about? Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!